In the dim shadows of an ancient, crumbling coliseum shrouded in mist, the air crackled with tension. An eerie silence hung over the arena, marred only by the blood of past adversaries seeping into the ground. Above, storm clouds gathered, mirroring the ferocity of the confrontation about to unfold. The mournful howl of the wind echoed through the desolate battleground, preparing the stage for inevitable carnage. Dr. Doom, Ra's al Ghul, and Grendel stood at the precipice of fate, each glaring into the depths of their enemies' wicked souls. Victor Von Doom, clad in his imposing green armor and iron mask, radiated a sinister confidence that bordered on arrogance. The flickering lights of latent arcane energy pulsed at his fingertips, a testament to the intersection of science and sorcery that would give him the edge he so desperately sought. His intellect, a weapon as lethal as any sword, clamored for dominance as he mapped every possible outcome in his mind. Doom understood that to ascend to a godlike status, he must eradicate any and all threats to his rule. Across from him stood Ra's al Ghul, the immortal master tactician and leader of the League of Assassins. His piercing green eyes gleamed with the wisdom of age-laden centuries and malice, framed beneath the shadow of his dark cloak. He gripped a sword forged in the fires of ancient battles, the blade itself thirsting for blood and vengeance. Ra's regarded Doom with a blend of respect and disdain, with the knowledge that while intellect could manipulate, mastery of lethal arts could destroy. He welcomed the shadows of death, understanding that only those who embraced it might live beyond the confines of this mortal coil. In stark contrast, Grendel, the lethal anti-hero known as Hunter Rose, exuded an aura of chaotic potential. Cloaked in dark leather and driven by vengeance, he moved with the graceful lethality of a predator poised to strike. His eyes burned with a furious determination that revealed both his twisted past and insatiable hunger for retribution. In his gloved hands, he wielded an assortment of weapons, each meticulously crafted to inflict maximum suffering upon his enemies. Unlike his adversaries, he sought purity through violence, a purging of the corrupted world that had betrayed him time and time again. The three combatants circled one another like wolves poised to pounce, the palpable tension thickening the very air around them. With an intensity that split the silence, Dr. Doom unleashed a torrent of magical energy, his hands glowing with an otherworldly light. The discharge exploded against the stone walls, the shockwave reverberating through the arena. Ra's al Ghul, however, anticipated the onslaught, springing with preternatural agility to evade the blast. In the same fluid motion, he lunged towards Doom, aiming for an immediate strike, but Grendel emerged from the shadows, his brutal kick connecting with Ra's and sending him tumbling to the ground. Chaos broke loose. Grendel wasted no time, lunging toward Doom with his vicious claws unsheathed. Doom barely sidestepped the assault, retaliating with an energy blast that struck Grendel squarely in the chest. The force of the impact knocked him back, but he thrived on pain, roaring defiantly as he crashed into Doom with a feral growl. The two engaged in a fury of strikes, grappling amidst the remnants of the ancient arena, each trying to gain an upper hand through brute strength. Ra's, having regained his footing, joined the fray again, bringing his sword down towards Grendel. The two men locked in a deadly embrace, exchanging blows like seasoned warriors, screams of agony and fury echoing in the dim arena. Grendel, fueled by unquenchable rage, diverted his focus, turning to Doom, who had just regained his balance after a clash with Ra's. In one swift motion, Grendel whipped out a dagger, slashing desperately at Doom. The blade scraped across Doom's armor, leaving only a shallow cut, a mere inconvenience that reignited Doom's fury. With a primal growl of anger, he summoned a maelstrom of dark energy, curling it around him like malevolent fog, flinging it toward both Grendel and Ra's with a menacing incantation. The ground beneath them trembled, responding to the raw power emitted. Caught off guard, Ra's lunged back, narrowly dodging the magical remnants, while Grendel was enveloped in the blast. The explosion sent him sprawling against the crumbling stone walls of the arena, gasping for breath as he blinked away the haze of temporary darkness. But in that moment of despair, he found a flicker of fury, one that ignited his once laid-back vengeful spirit. As the blast settled into chaos, Doom and Ra's resumed their fierce battle. Doom's powers seemed almost inexhaustible, each arcane strike revealing the depth of his dedication to conquest. Blades clashed. Ra's, agile and precise, learned and adapted, seeking every opportunity to exploit a weakness. Each strike exchanged between them echoed through the arena, filled with the promise of death and the thrill of survival. Grendel, emboldened now, rose again, fueled by the betrayal of everyone he had ever known, and charged into the tumult. His claws glinted with the threat of evisceration as he landed a solid kick against Ra's, launching the assassin back, causing him to stumble against the stone edge of the arena. A pained grunt escaped Ra's as he skidded to the ground, his sword slipping from his grasp. But that moment of triumph was fleeting. Doom saw the opening and aimed a blast at Grendel, who barely managed to evade in time, a smirk creeping onto his lips as he taunted his armored foe. Doom's rage boiled over. He conjured a relentless wave of energy and directed it toward Grendel, who dodged with agile reflexes. The tumultuous clash of wills continued, and the storm above rumbled ominously, as if mirroring the chaos below. No one was without injury, blood mixed with sweat and dirt, painting the ground a hellish red. Just as Doom began to seem relentless, Ra's, though battered, picked up his sword, his will refusing to yield. With the brutal discipline born from centuries of combat, he lunged at Grendel again, finding his rhythm in the unpredictability of the fight. Each strike he delivered was both an art form and a deadly weapon, seeking the heart of the vicious beast standing in front of him. In a shocking display, Grendel managed to deflect one of Ra's strikes, spinning fluidly to counterattack, delivering a vicious uppercut that sent Ra's reeling. The assassin gasped, grasping at his gut, but the movement was enough to make him regain his focus. Wobbling, Ra's unleashed a flurry of slashes, keeping both adversaries on their toes and pushing them toward the brink of despair. As Ra's and Grendel clashed, Doom seized the opportunity, unleashing a powerful arcane blast, catching Ra's off guard. The energy tore through the air, barely missing Grendel and violently connecting with Ra's, sending him sprawling back, the force nearly knocking him unconscious. Grendel wore a grin born of sadism, knowing he had near total control. Fueled by rage and desperation, Grendel leaped forward, grasping a grappling hook he kept fastened at his side. He flung it toward Doom with deliberate precision, ensnaring the mechanical mastermind. With a swift yank, he pulled Doom off balance, following through with a brutal elbow that sent Doom crashing to the ground. However, Doom was not finished. The moment he hit the ground, he fought back, summoning the remnants of his power to create a barrier that shocked Grendel. Defiance flickered in Grendel's eyes, and he surged forward again, only to be met with a blast of obsidian energy that struck him squarely in the chest. The shadows wrapped around him like a shroud, and he stumbled to regain his footing. On the opposite side, Ra's fought fiercely to get back into the battle, determination etched across his face. With strength returned, he managed to lunge at Grendel, the two exchanging savagery-rich blows. Grendel's animalistic growls combined with Ra's calculated strikes created a twisted dance of fury as they honored violence with each motion. Doom, seeing an opening, regained his bearings and joined the fray again, a monstrous avatar of vengeance. All three men were now ensnared in a whirlwind of bloodshed. With the energies colliding, the battlefield became a cacophony of battle cries and the sickening sound of impact. Amid the madness, with chaos surging around them, moments blurred until, with unexpected precision, Grendel and Ra's moved to confront Doom. It was a cataclysm of wills, the storm intensified above, and the earth itself seemed to shudder in anticipation. Grendel, sensing the climax approaching, perhaps the final act of slaughter, embodied the twisted hero within. With every ounce of vengeance transcending his being, he roared, digging deep into the primal instinct that was his legacy. In a final, desperate maneuver, Grendel leaped toward Doom, claws extended, but Ra's quickly sidestepped in a bid for his own lethal glory. This movement created an opportunity. Both men launched themselves at Doom, battling for dominance. With a powerful charge, Ra's struck. Out of nowhere, Grendel caught Ra's in a strike that sent both tumbling, the dagger catching Ra's thigh deep enough to draw forth a geyser of blood. But the finishing strike belonged to Doom. In a moment of calculated desperation, he unleashed an explosive arc of energy that enveloped both adversaries, the inferno blinding the combatants as screams echoed in the chaos. As the dust settled, the very fabric of the arena shimmered under the weight of destructive magic. Grendel lay amidst the rubble but rose to his feet, bleeding and seething. It was now or never. With a final surge of determination, Grendel charged forward, summoning the ferocity of his darkest self. He feinted left, then right, driving Ross to the ground and pinning him beneath his weight. Ross fought back fiercely, but Grendel's primal strength was unrelenting. The two entities became a whirl of limbs, united only in their ferocity. In the end, it was Grendel who landed the final blow. With a lethal strike, he plunged his dagger into Ra's heart, snuffing out the ancient life with a final gasp. The immortal met his end in a gurgle, his body twitching as he succumbed to death's grasp. Staggering back from the fallen bodies, Grendel turned his gaze to Doom, who still remained standing, glaring without fear, his breaths labored as he calculated his last move. With anger coursing through every fiber of his being, Grendel knew he could not relent. Clenching his dagger tighter, he charged forth. Doom, though cornered, summoned the last vestige of his power, the energy swirling chaotically around him. The two champions met in one final clash, a maelstrom of fury and desperation as weapons collided once more. Grendel was faster and more feral, channeling the raw power of unadulterated rage. As the storm raged overhead, the arena split with sound, metal on metal, flesh on steel, until Doom, wearing the mask of both fury and desperation, lunged with a furious spell. The release met Grendel's advances, and both men fell to the ground amidst a haze of obliterated hopes. When the dust settled and the echoes of battle faded into uneasy silence, only one emerged amidst the wreckage. It was Grendel, survivor of the race against impossible odds. He inhaled deeply, absorbing the magnitude of his vengeance, the ire in his heart aflame. The ancient arena bore witness to a sea of carnage, yet he understood this was merely the beginning of a new nightmare. With the acidic sweet scent of victory in the air, Grendel stood over his vanquished foes amid the pouring rain, each drop a rigid reminder of his grim resolve. As he wiped the blood from his face, he had become what he had always fought against, unrestrained chaos embodied. In a world filled with darkness and betrayal, he embraced the monster within, feeling the pulse of existence resound through his veins. The last one standing in a vicious triad, he had long ago crossed the line into his own devilry, and he reveled in it. The ghostly howls faded, replaced by the storm's final roars, echoing as a testament to the battle of wits, might, and madness, a symphony of unyielding death, played to the requiem of fallen kings. Grendel, guilt shedding like dead skin, walked away triumphant from the Colosseum where legends met their end, his laughter mixing with the rain, reverberating through the emptiness as shadows swallowed the history of bloodshed left behind.